Hey everybody, it's Melissa with Build a Better Bakery here, and I have Tyler from the Flip Insurance Program here with us today because I know that you guys have some questions about insurance for your baking businesses, either home, like your cottage business or your commercial business. And I wanted to bring him on here today to ask or to answer 4 important questions, 3 of which you posted in the group that you wanted answered, and 1 which I think that you need to know. So we're so pleased to have you here today, Tyler. And maybe you can give us just a short kind of intro to the Flip program and how it's tailored for bakers specifically.
Yeah, the Flip program, it's a really great product for people that are doing any sort of food sales. So whether you're a baker, you're attending a farmer's market or a commercial kitchen, it's one price and that coverage can carry you for any type of business activity you want to do. So it's $25.92 a month or $299 a year. And with that, you're going to get over $2 million worth of coverage for general liability if anybody were to get hurt or anything around a booth or at your bakery, anything like that. So it's designed to give you a lot of coverage for a low price, and it's designed to be as versatile as all the bakers are.
Yeah, I agree with this personally on a very direct level because I started with Flip and then this was years ago. And then I moved to a different, 2 different insurance providers because I was baking locally and also I do this stuff online. And you probably know there's some differences as far as like credit card, having people's credit card information, storing it for subscriptions. There's other things that happen for online businesses.
Mhm.
So I had separated it out, but then when I came back recently to look before our interview, I realized that had been added in, like similar things had been added. So I came back to Flip. And I agree, it is a really good savings. I think I'm saving like $600
Oh
a year.
wow,
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
because some of those insurance companies, they're just expensive. Like when it comes to the professional liability,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And to kind of, I think just to backtrack just a little bit, I often get questions from people who, in this industry, some people are bakers sometimes, and then sometimes they're not. They're kind of dipping in and out of the industry based on their lifestyle.
Mhm.
If you're having kids or if your kids are getting older, things can change, things like that. So I often get questions, which was the first question:
Mhm.
does every baker need insurance? But more so, yes, does every baker need insurance? But also, when would you suggest would be kind of the right time for someone to start looking at it?
Right. I think that's a really good question. And it's an interesting question because baker insurance isn't necessarily a requirement if you're just baking out of home. It really depends on the cottage food laws for each state. Some aren't going to allow it at all. Some they have different requirements. So it really depends on that as far as the requirement for bakers. But I guess a good recommendation for people that are looking to get insurance, you have to look at as far as what am I producing? And if anybody were to get sick or hurt from this, would I be able to cover the cost of a claim?
Mhm.
So a lot of times what we see coverages or claims made for is like people getting sick or having an allergic reaction by sometimes by no fault of your own. If you sell them a product that they are kind of taking and not realizing that they're allergic to something and have an allergic reaction, they can still sue you, and then you'd have to pay out that claim. So a lot of times it really depends on the people you're selling to. If you're just making it for your friends, if here and there, my mother-in-law, she is really big into baking sourdough bread and has recently started posting on Facebook Marketplace locally and selling to her friends. But if it's your business and you're selling to a lot of people, it does make sense because for $25 a month, really you can have that protection where if anything were to happen, it wouldn't affect your business. And you can also cover like your tools and equipment as well. So
Mhm.
if you're using the bread mixer and it breaks, you can get coverage to help replace that as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's when you go through, because like I said, I recently just went through it myself. There's a lot of questions to help you kind of figure out what is offered, what do I need, what do I not need. Like there's ones right with like food trucks,
Yep.
other things like that, where if your business is a little more expansive in some areas, there's
Right.
options. Um, okay, so I think nutshell, the answer is look into it if you're selling to more than your friends
Mhm.
just in case something happens.
Yeah.
And it's pretty affordable. So if you can, and, this is a business cost. So if you're doing your taxes, it's, part
Right.
of that
Mhm.
business end of your, what you're paying to run your business, which I think is
Right.
important.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, it is a cost, but it's something that you can deduct, that kind of thing.
Yes.
All right. So the second question that came in was, what are some examples of regularly covered claims? If you can share that information, I don't know if you can or not, but
Totally. Yeah. I
okay.
went through and trying to gather this. I went through, we have some blog articles and things that are posted on the website, just trying to gather a lot of that information that's out there that we like to share. One claim example we have up there, kind of like what we were just talking about, somebody having an allergic reaction to something they purchased. This was actually a $5,000 claim for medical bills and them getting the help that they needed, that the baker was then able to submit a claim for, and we were able to cover that cost for them. So a lot of times, any person who gets sick or has a reaction to food that they've ingested, we can cover that. Another one, if you have a bakery that you're selling out of, if people are entering into your space, you can get coverage for slips, trips, and falls. And that's what is really the base of the policy, is the general liability. If anybody were to get hurt, and so if anybody slips on a wet floor, sprains their wrist, sprain their ankle, and they want to sue you for that, you would also get coverage for that. Or even if you have an employee or yourself, you're passing something around to tables and you accidentally knock over a customer's laptop, or a cup of coffee spills, or something happens to break something of a customer, you can actually get coverage to help pay for that as well, somebody else's property being damaged. So those are some common claims that we see a lot of times, just people, unfortunately, sometimes have an allergic reaction that they're unknowing of, and claims are made because of that.
Yeah, yeah, because I think whenever I've talked to bakers with about insurance, that's like the number one thing they think they're going to be claiming.
Mhm.
But from the 16 years that I've been doing this, working in commercial spaces all over the country,
Mhm.
doing stuff from home, I feel like the second one is actually where I see the most, where I've personally seen the most things happen. People slip on the stairs,
Right.
and you could even have, like, you've mopped, you put out a sign, but they're not looking,
Exactly. Yeah.
things like that. So yeah, it's like hurting themselves on your premises, or there's ice outside, they're coming to do pickups.
Mhm.
I've seen a person hit someone's mailbox while they were delivering something,
Mhm.
things like that. So yeah, like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
guess that would be the personal property example.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, I do see that pretty often. So I definitely agree.
I
Uh,
think a good way to think about it, and sorry for jumping back in, but I think a good way to think about it is, if you have your business and your business operations, anything that you're doing as part of your business that cause either harm to somebody else or somebody's property,
mm,
that's where this coverage be able to come in. It's like we were saying. I like that example of, hitting somebody's mailbox. It's not a direct impact to them, but it was their property,
yeah,
and that's a great example of something that can be covered too.
yeah, and you were just performing your business duties.
Exactly. Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so number three is, what are some common misconceptions about insurance for bakers, which I think we kind of just covered with that as far as like the uses, but was there anything else that you wanted to add for like the misconceptions of what people think it's going to be, or um
Mhm.
yeah, essentially.
Right. That's a really good question, and I like what we just went over as far as, I guess immediately comes to mind, oh, I don't want somebody to get sick because of my product. But really you have to think about, I don't so many things can happen while people are inside of your business or you're performing your business.
Mhm.
But another thing too that I like to think of in talking to people, what's come up is, why do I need this coverage? What is it? Why should I buy it? How does it relate to me? I'm a baker, or I'm just attending some market or going to a commercial kitchen. Why do I need to have it? What does it offer me? And something too that we have that we say a lot, it offers peace of mind. A lot of times I'm a recent college graduate, so I just came out of the apartment living, and they required me to have renter's insurance, and wasn't too sure at first why I needed that. And somebody told me, well, if something happens, it's not gonna. They told me this, that it's not going to ruin your life, and though this not might not be the case, it's not going to ruin your business.
Mhm.
If you have that coverage, you have it in your pocket, knowing that if anything were to happen, you're still going to be able to perform your business operations. You're going to be able to cover things if they happen. You're still going to be able to continue to bake things. So that's what I like to tell people, is when they're coming on for the first time and learning about it, you hope to never have to use it,
Mhm.
right? But if you
Yeah.
need to, you have it, and your business will be able to continue.
Yeah. And I'll add on, I was thinking while you were talking, I'll add on that you can also then publish that you're an insured business, which
Right.
just
Mhm.
looks professional. It looks good.
Mhm.
You can put that on your business card. You can put that on your website. That helps people know, like, and trust you quickly because you've taken the time to think about this and to really, I think insurance in some ways, yes, it's like covering yourself and it's covering your income. Um, or your business in general, but it's also telling people that you're interested in helping them. Like, I'm willing to put a little bit of money into this to make sure that you feel comfortable working with me.
Mhm.
And I'm there if something does happen, like, we're good.
Right.
We can help
Yeah.
make it right, kind of thing. So I think it's kind of customer service and thinking about
Yeah.
your clients.
Mhm.
Um, oh, there was something else you said. I forgot, but it's something else you
No
said that
worries.
I'm
Yeah,
missing.
totally. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think what you brought up is a really great point too. It shows that, hey, though I'm a growing business, but I am putting the effort in to make sure that I am being as professional as possible. And I really want to produce a great product. And two, if you are growing and expanding, maybe you're going from home and you want to then go sell out of a commercial kitchen, or you want to go to a farmer's market. A lot of times those will have their own insurance requirements to where they will require you to purchase a policy. So coming into it, having it might put you ahead of other applicants just because you have that policy in place. So it might open up other opportunities too.
Yeah, that was actually what I was going to say. Exactly. So, a lot of, in my experience, especially with like the wedding industry sales, a
Mhm.
lot of those venues require that you do have insurance already in place and that you can prove it, and you send them that information whenever sometimes they reach out to you, sometimes you have to send it with the bride or groom. It varies. But
Right.
that specifically, and then like larger farmers markets want you to have all of your paperwork in order, all of your sales numbers, your insurances, because if there's just a market happening like here, the biggest one that I know of locally happens outside of a Hobby Lobby.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
they
Nice.
take over this huge, it's really popular,
Mhm.
hundreds of vendors every weekend. But Hobby Lobby is not insuring you, and the coordinators are just giving you, they're promoting you and they're giving you a space to set up. But yeah, like, if something happens on your watch, no, none of those people are going to be there
Right.
to deal with that. And then I think it can be kind of confusing with venues because sometimes they do have their own insurances, but it's not, that wouldn't cover you hitting their mailbox and
Exactly.
trying
Yeah.
to pull up and drop your stuff off.
Hmm.
So yeah, so like, even if it's doubled up with other people's insurances, it's better
Yeah.
to not think that they're going to cover whatever's going to happen because you're just happen to be on their property.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so let's hop into the very last question so you guys can get all this information in a nice little nugget of time.
Mhm.
And this is where I think you're going to have some good answers because again, it was expanded from even the first time I looked at Flip years ago to some different offers within the program. But
Mhm.
what are some features that Flip offers specifically for bakers that you feel like are just like the top ones, but also maybe a couple that are actually helpful, but maybe people don't really notice are there?
Right. Well, I think we've covered a couple of good ones. One is the tools and equipment coverage. So if you're a baker, whether you are producing out of your home, whether you're producing in a bakery, the ability to cover your tools and your equipment is great. So that if something breaks, you can get access to fix it. You don't have to cover that cost out of pocket. Two, it covers damage to premises rented. So if something were to happen, if something were to catch fire, an oven were to have a malfunction or anything because of something you're doing, you'd be able to get coverage for that as well. We offer up to $300,000 in coverage for that. One thing that I think is cool about the flip policy, we've been talking about all the different places and ways the vendors or the bakers can sell, whether it's out of their home. We talk about going to farmers markets or the pop-up shop at the Hobby Lobby. You can add at any time when you purchase a policy, you essentially create a profile and a dashboard for yourself that you can access at any time. It has your insurance documents, but you can also add unlimited events and other companies as an additional insured on your policy. So that's a lot of times what people are requiring is that you go to a farmer's market, they need their business listed on there. And we don't charge for that. So at any time you can go back in, you can add unlimited businesses, unlimited events that you're attending. So at any time it can expand out to be whatever you want it to be. It can just cover your practices. It can go out to where you can attend events. You can start to go and produce your product on a higher level. So I think that's the great thing about it, just to be able to know that wherever you're going to sell for however long you have the policy, you're going to be able to do whatever you want with it.
I did not know that. I think I saw that on there, and I'm not working. What I'm doing right now doesn't require that, but I know in the past I have because they did say you need to add us. You need to show proof that you added us to that list.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, but I think some places charge for that. Like, I don't think that that's always free or
Right.
unlimited.
Yeah. It really depends company to company. And I don't have them off the top of my head as far as what everybody charges, but I do know that some insurance companies, they'll give you the policy, but to be able to add on the extra, the company being listed on the policy as well, you would have to charge $5, $10, sometimes more for that. So it's something we offer for free. And I've worked with people that have 40 to 45 different entities or businesses listed because they're going to shows all throughout the year. So it's something that's great, that you can be able to attend as many events as you want, not have to worry about paying for it.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. Was there anything else you wanted to add? That's all my questions for the day.
I'm trying to think. I feel like that was great. And really the thing too, we have a dedicated customer service team and they're not
Yeah.
insurance agents themselves. What they are is they are people that are just dedicated to know about the policy and know how to help people. So at any time, if people have questions, they can go there and they can get the help they need. And if for some reason you are wanting a policy that doesn't exactly fit what we have, and we have policies for all different types of vendors. We work to try and direct you to where you can go to get help. So we're really just a group that wants to be able to help people, and make sure they're protected the best way possible. So the customer service thing, or the customer service representatives, is a great way to go, if you need help. And as well, if you are opening up a business, if you're looking to bring in those independent contractors, I'll use a commercial kitchen, for example.
Mhm.
If you're going to own a commercial kitchen, you want to bring in those people. We have a way to streamline and automate how you collect their certificates of insurance. And so this would be where you need them to list your business.
Mhm.
What you can do at any time is register that commercial kitchen on Flip. This doesn't cost anything, with your insurance requirements. So usually it's like your business name and the address, and it produces a link that you can then send out to people to where they can automatically list your business on their policy. So it's another tool we have for business owners, and I just wanted to throw that out there in case it might be relevant at all. But
Yeah.
we try and help not only the producer but also business owners as well.
Yeah, because there are, depending on some storefront owners, they are looking for different streams of income, and that can be a lot of different things. But sometimes it's renting out their kitchen in off hours for another baker that wants to come in and use a commercial space, or
Right.
trade the space for product or whatever it is they're doing.
Mhm.
So there are people like that I know for sure in the group. So I think that they could use that feature with them.
Totally. Yeah. And at least through Flip, I would highly recommend, if you are, for those bakers that are renting out their space, I would highly recommend, um, asking people to list you as an additional insured, because that means if anything were to happen, you can then defer it to them. It essentially says that, this person is operating on my property. So if anything happens, they have a policy that can cover it. So it's an extra layer and a way to protect your business. So that's just something I'd recommend. It's free. You can add the additional insured for free. So definitely
Mhm.
something that would be good.
Okay, great. And then the website address for anyone who wants to go check it out is www.flip, so FLIP, and then not two piece, just FLIPROGRAM.com, because it's Food Liability Insurance Program,
That's correct. Yeah.
right? Okay.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Because I'm going in there trying to type two P's because I think it's like flip program, but it's one
Yeah.
P.
Yeah, that caught me off guard too when I was typing the website for the first time. But yeah.
Yeah, so you can head over there. You can check out everything. We have a special code from them where you can save some money on your policy. That should be posted with this video whenever you're going to see this. I'll also have this up on YouTube, and I'll post all that information there as well so you can use it. And over there, you said there's also is there like a chat box they can use, or an email situation where they can get their questions answered?
There is, yeah. So on the bottom right of the page, a little thing will pop up saying, "Do you have any questions?" So you can click on that, chat anytime. And up at the top as well, there is a contact, and a phone number, so it'll direct you to the people that can help you out.
Okay, and then one other thing I was thinking of that someone might need to know before they go to the website. If I was going to sign up for insurance, how many days or how much time does it take between applying and then being covered?
That's actually a really great question, and I'm glad you brought that up. So our application is completely online. So people going on, signing up for Flip, you can do it. You can talk to somebody and they can walk you through if you have questions, but it's essentially just putting in your name, if you have a business, any business information, and then from there you're done and you have instant coverage. So as soon as you click the finalize policy button, you have your coverage and you're good to go.
Okay, so you'll have your coverage, the payment will get taken out, like everything kind of
Right. Yep.
happens kind of instantly,
Yep.
essentially. Okay.
Instantaneously.
Okay, good. So that, yeah, so if you're needing to go to an event like this weekend and you need the
Right.
insurance, then you should be able to go in during the week and get it done.
Totally. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Tyler.
Of course, yeah. Thank you, Melissa, for having me on.
Sure. All right. Thank you.
Yep, we'll see.